So in 2016, I released a song with an amazing artist that has become a really good friend called Sigala, and it was called Give Me Your Love. And I thought it'd be definitely worth getting Sigala on the modern version of a phone to speak to him about it and just how he made that song, which I can't remember much of, to be honest.
Dude, 2016 was quite a long time ago. Yeah, I think it was literally my third or fourth single as Sigala. So it was like probably the first year of starting my project.
Mm. And then we made sweet loving music. I didn't really say
The
that.
Give Me Your Love was like that. We wrote that on the first day that we met, didn't we? We met in the studio. We hadn't spoken before writing that song. We just met up at Talyard, and I think it was like the first thing we wrote. Like you were sort of jumping around the room, like ADHD crazy, like jumping on a guitar, playing some riffs, jumping on the piano. Like I was just sort of calmly sat there, sort of like soaking in what was going on. I was like just kind of waiting for something to spark, and then I didn't want to step on your toes at all, so I was just like letting you do your thing. And then you literally just like hit that chord and just went, "Give me a love, I need it," and then I was like, "Well, that's it. Let's go. We've got the start of something."
What we paid for.
It was like it took a whole bunch of ideas, like musical vomit almost, just like ideas, and then you did that, and we both looked at each other and we were like, "That's sick." Um,
I
and
think
then
what
we,
was really interesting about it is that we used it started becoming a formula of this thing that I really enjoyed doing. Like I did it on Blame, where it was like the lower chorus, which then it was like everyone started doing it after like we'd done it, like we
yeah,
done it a few times, but like the lower chorus and then just repeat it high. It
yeah,
was like
it worked so well.
it was filler. It became like chorus filler instead of having to have all the nonsense in there. And I think for me, it was just like at the time we just hit the nail on the head because I was like, I'd just come out of LA making like hyper funk disco records. You're like Michael
Yeah,
musicians. And then it was just like you could have embraced that or you could have not. Like it could have been a complete clash, but you did embrace it. And I think it did make the record this addictive kind of joyful funk soul record. And I think it was your idea, right, to get Niall on it, which was like well dreamy for us both, to be honest.
yeah, because I think we were playing around with it, and you were playing some guitar parts like the ding 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 ding. You were doing all that stuff, and that sounded so sick. Like we really sort of embraced the disco funk thing without even really even talking about it, did we? We were just kind of like, this is where it should be going. And then I think it's towards the end of the day when we kind of had something. I was like, that sounds like a Nile Rodgers riff. And you were like, oh my God, I've been working with him. We should hit him up and see what he says. And and then I think you went away and got in touch with him and sent him the demo and stuff. And then suddenly Nile Rodgers was also on the song.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I love that man. He's such a legend as well. It was an
absolutely.
absolute honor to work with him. But yeah, I've always been into like disco and funk from a very young age, and obviously you come from that kind of world as well, and soul and stuff, and I feel like it all interlinks. Um, and yeah, it just felt totally right going down that lane, and it's like it's honestly one of my favorite songs that I've ever done. Still playing all my sets, and like I always go back to it, and like like none of us were really overthinking it at the time, but I think we stumbled on a really nice blend of like live instruments and funk and disco influence stuff, and then what was like future house at the time with like those big bass riffs, and like all blended together, and it just, yeah, it just really worked. And I feel like it's one of my best productions as well. Yeah, I'm still really proud of that song, man.
Yeah, that was one of the simple ones as well. That just it's always the simple ones, man, that are best. The ones that just
Yeah. You're not really overthinking it too much. It just sort of happens, and then I think like it's just about
yeah.
kind of trying to follow where the track and the song wants to go, and honoring that, and not trying to force it into something that it doesn't want to be, I guess. Didn't we do it at Summertime Ball, or one of the Capital Balls?
Oh yeah, we totally did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was like very early in my career. Um doing a Wembley Stadium gig was, yeah, pretty nerve-wracking.
Yeah, like I remember looking at you, and we were both in a bit of shock because it was,
Yeah.
like it felt like we had a big one, but the main thing I was it had rained on the day, and they had like this like
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and I had my loafers on, and I was like, oh, I can't move. So I had to take my shoes off and throw them in the crowd and do it in my socks. And I remember walking back to the dressing room, and Ariana Grande, who's like, I mean, it's Ariana Grande, man. It's like, hey, John Newman. And I was like, oh no. And I was like, my hair's down here. I've like got this white shirt on that I've got rained on. And like the full man boob going on.
You got your socks on.
Just socks. And she kind of went, hey, John Newman, I love your music. I was like, what the fuck? That was a big...
Yeah, I remember seeing you in the, because we both left the stage at different times, and then I finished my set or whatever and came back to the dressing room, and you were like, oh my god, that was so sick, but I lost my, I really like those shoes. You're like, I really like those shoes, and no, they're gone.
That's so good.
That was good, man. That was like dedication to the performance.
Yeah,